Tonight we will see the last film in this film club season devoted to Stanley Kubrick, 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is my personal favourite. Although this is not its first showing on television, this is the first time it is being presented in its original widescreen format throughout. In the short time allotted, it is impossible for me to discuss fully the complexities and subtleties of this breathtaking work. For 2001 is about nothing less than the epic story of man, from primitive times to an imaginary space future of superb technocrats who have colonized and conquered the solar system. The opening sequence is pure cinema. The planets are strung out behind one another in the vast wilderness of space, an uninhabited world combined with the music of Richard Strauss's Also sprach Zarathustra. It is an exquisite, dazzling opening where image and music are in perfect unison. In the dawn of man, we see isolated tribes of ape-men scratching an existence from a barren earth, terrified of the elements, each other, and the unknown. Then, inexplicably, a black monolith appears to them. This object, which is to recur throughout the film like a leitmotif, would seem to represent all that is unknown and unknowable. The monolith imparts terror, then a kind of knowledge to our primitive ancestors, the knowledge of weaponry and how to kill. The transition from the dawn of man to the beginning of our next century is marvelously realized. The ape-man throws a bone into the air, and it descends as a spaceship in deep space, accompanied by Johann Strauss's waltz, The Blue Danube. Then, in a series of wonderful modulations, Kubrick takes us from these wheeling and gliding spacecraft into the vast circular ship, and it is revealed that the black monolith has reappeared to man. In the next section of the film, the Jupiter mission, we are on board a ship designated to investigate the origin of the monolith. The ship is virtually controlled by a highly sophisticated computer named HAL 9000. And it is here that Kubrick is at his most dazzling, creating a space future which is utterly authentic. HAL, apparently developing something akin to human emotions, malfunctions, and begins to take over the mission. Eventually, astronaut David Bowman, played by Keir Dullea, battles with this deadly and devious computer. Man has placed his faith in technology, and technology has turned on him with a vengeance. As Bowman attempts to disconnect HAL in a scene of great tension, he reaches the heart of the machine, its memory bank. The HAL voice, previously calm and caressive, begins to revert to a kind of robotic infancy, eventually singing the first thing it was programmed with, the nursery rhyme like Daisy, Daisy. This to me recalls Oswald at the end of Ibsen's Ghosts, saying, I want the sun, as he slips into complete mental disintegration. But what makes the scene particularly stunning is that it is bathed in a blood-red light. In the final part, Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite, Bowman is drawn into a fantastic corridor through time and space. He experiences his own aging, death, and rebirth as the universal child, floating in embryo in space, like the planets we saw at the very beginning of the film. All time is cyclical, all space is infinite. Special effects, technical skill, narrative, image, and music all combine into a picture of almost flawless texture and unity. It is as exciting today as when it was made 20 years ago, long before the days of Star Wars made voyages into the solar system seem commonplace. If all paths of glory lead but to the grave, as indeed they do, 2001 has shown us that not only has the journey been worthwhile, but that the journey has been a glorious one.
Well, next week the Film Club returns first to the year 1901 and features two films by Robert M. Young about oppression on the Mexican border. The Ballad of Gregorio Cortes is about a Mexican cowhand on the run from the Texan Rangers after shooting a sheriff in self-defense. And alambrista, the Spanish word for an illegal worker who crosses the border and earns money before the police catch up with him.